The UDU, Upland Development United, installed their neighborhood nodes throughout the entirety of Upland. Their reach was unmatched.
Welcome everybody to UDU and UDUA team meeting number 18. My name is Ben68, and today we have More Cheese, Bocchio, the return of Uplando, Nubex, Dubrider, Skip720, Addo, Finsky, Machida, and the Crypto Jedi all online with us. Thanks everybody. Just wanted to start off by thanking Machida, or not thanking, congratulating Machida on his win in the meme challenge, and Swiss Power for giving him a hard run for his money. Well done. It was good to see that all kick off. Yeah, we're going to get straight into it today. There's a few things to talk about. First up is the Spark train. Can we get a progress update? How are we going for round 2? Anybody been looking at the numbers?
We're doing good. We have pretty much just 2 people left to fill up on the Spark. They're almost there. And what is today? Tuesday. We should most likely be done by this weekend again. So we're ready for round 3. And I have some ideas for round 3. Of course, those are maybe up for discussion, but maybe not. I was thinking about for round 3 doing a little bit something different with the minimums. I was thinking about taking 75% of whoever wants to nominate their property. They would have to be able to stake 75% in order to nominate their property. I think that's good because depending on where you are with the amount of Spark you have, it should play fair on anybody new or anybody old. I mean, you're more than welcome to do something else. You don't have to go on a Spark train, but if you want to, I think that would be a more kind of better way to get it going faster.
Yeah, we're getting to the point where we're trying to encourage people, if you're on board, you're on board. You know, you're not just kind of dipping your toe. We do realize, and you know, myself and I know More Cheese and a few other people, we do have other commitments elsewhere. So yeah, we're just trying to get it so we're not bogged down, making it not too much of a grind. We should just be able to get up and running and just pump it out as soon as possible. So yeah, we're going to play with the round 3 train. We will play around with that 75% of what you've got. So it'll be a case of like we did with the round 4 apartment train, where I put the call out just to, could you just nominate the amount of Spark you have and the amount you're willing to stake. That was just so we could start crunching some numbers and running some models. I haven't actually sat down and looked at that data myself yet, but that's probably the same sort of system is going to kick over for round 3, and that'll be a test before we move into round 4. Yeah, just be as honest as you can with your Spark. Don't try any shenanigans. Angela's got all the data from the back end, so you know, don't play any games. She'll find out. It's not worth getting in trouble with her. I know personally that's not much fun. So
Get my brush out. And I do have the data actually for the apartments. If I'll show that to you later, we don't have to talk about that now.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, I haven't had a chance to dive into that and digest those myself. But yeah, there was some concern that I think Sturs mentioned that he wanted to get involved, but he didn't want to, you know, commit more than a month. Yeah, definitely that's not something that we're looking to do. The only way that we can really control that is either through limited amount of people on each round, which, you know, that's what happened for round 2. We cut it off pretty quickly just because we didn't want it to extend too long, and you know that, of course, some people were a bit disappointed that they missed out. So we want to get as many people involved as we can, but you can't drag on forever. So we're going to play around with this idea of putting a much higher staking, limit on the thing. So of course, if you don't have enough spark or whatever, just as always, it's about having a conversation. Maybe you miss out a little bit this time, but you commit more in the bank for next time or something like that. There's always ways around things, via communication and whatnot. So that's round 3 taken care of. Again, that'll just be another townhouse build. Round 4, as we've been talking about, we are still looking at 2 trains. The main train will be the UDU apartment train. And then Bock has agreed to take over the round 4B train, I guess we call it, or train 2. Did you want to speak to anything about that, Bock? Have you thought more about what you want to do or how that's going to play out? I'm putting you on the spot a bit there.
Oh yeah, you did.
Sorry, mate.
Yeah, I was just waiting for round 3 to end, and in the meantime, thinking about what to do. No, sorry, I don't have the exact details yet.
Yeah, that's all right. Yeah, like I said, just putting you on the spot. But yeah, we will definitely play with 2 trains for the round 4 build. So, and
yeah, but I think.
Yep, go ahead.
Oh, sorry, I cut you off. No.
All good.
Yeah, I think it's good to just see what happens with the first train round and the second train round. We learn from that, right? So I think that it's still good. And after I think the first 3 rounds, we really have a good idea of how we are going to even pinpoint it further. We are on the right direction, but yeah. Yeah,
well, that's right. We're basically running 2 experiments instead of 1 for that round 4 train. Yeah. So we're going to get more information, more data. Hopefully we get more feedback. And of course, that'll only improve everything as we move forward. Speaking of building and using your spark and that sort of thing, we have had Uplando come back into the fold, and by all accounts, he's geared up and ready to go with some exciting stuff. Uplando, over to you, mate.
Yeah, thank you so much. I'm going to try and be short as possible. Ben knows that's almost impossible, but I am glad to be back. For anybody who's watching this that's new to the UDU and you picked up on this channel, hopefully these are all facts, but I've got just some things to go through. UDU, in my opinion, is the first and original group that has started that was an amalgamation of Ben's and a few others, but mostly Ben. And again, I think people know that Ben is beta business and gearing up towards that to get beta business and going into what he had in mind. And following with that in what the nodes and some of the other micro nodes and things have done, and learning. So the UDU learns from what they've done in the past and things that haven't worked, and then they just evolve. And I took a step back, needed to do some things, and part of my re-entering in and be active in the community is paying tribute to those people who picked up and run with the flag. And I would encourage any member of the UDU that feels like they have something to contribute to the group and really wants to pick up and run with the ball for a while. Please do so, because we all have things going on, and we all need a little help every once in a while. So to you that have stepped forward, when I re-entered and started to be more active, more Cheese and Bakio, Nubbix, you guys, Crypto Jedi, all of you that Finsky, everyone, Screw, for the amazing artwork and things you guys have done. Thank you. Thank you very much for doing so. It's one of the things I love about this group. And re-entering into that, what I wanted to do was show my appreciation. So what I've done is, from my own and others that I've worked with, I have amassed about 22 to 30 spark. And what I'm going to do with that is I'm going to throw everything at the next train that's coming along. And that is to show that community and that what we do or what we're doing with the UDU has merit, what we're trying to do, what we want to do with the community, and how we want to build it going forward. There's a real, community cohesiveness behind this. Like Angela had said, she's moving forward and really trying to look at the data and the dynamic of what we need to do to get buildings on these properties. And so I'm really excited about that. So what I will be doing is, again, for a period of time, I'm throwing up to 30 spark for those next townhouse round builds. And I think that'll be fast. I think that we'll start to see those structures go up very quickly. Once I do that for a period of time, going all the way back to the original idea, before, as soon as we saw Oakland come, starting to open up and we had seen the neighborhood start to get named, school was a perfect node for me. I'd look to jump in, and I loved that idea of it, because in almost every part of the world, there is a school or they're building a school. And the education, that's, it's Library of Alexandria, knowledge is power. This is what we want to do. And instead of coveting it, the idea is to share it with everyone. There's a thing about being competitive, but there's also a thing about being cooperative. And so that's what school is. School is about education. It's about helping each other out, and specifically those who are wanting to help you, right? So that's what part, again, UDU is for me, and that's why I'm still in it, and that's why I want to continue to do this. So from other contributors, the Upland, or the Upland Knowledge, Tome of Knowledge, is something that I put together and have freely given it out. It's going to become an online knowledge base. It's in preparation right now. All that information, as people more and more, I start to hand it out just more and more and more, instead of just spamming people with a text file, which is nice, by the way, because it's searchable. It has no hidden code. It doesn't require that you join a group. It's just there. So it's ways to help the community build. For school, for everyone that stuck by me and helped me, I am down to the last 15 properties that were FSAs to acquire. This means that everybody that went into that are going to be able to now move around and get your 3 properties in a row. If I'm saying a minimum of 3, maybe even 2, just because of the limited number of school properties that are there. Over time, we've had some that, this could be controversial, but riding the coattails of school, I'm sorry, of the UDU, just by going in and grabbing up properties, and they're going to drive up price, and demand is going to be great, and we're all going to make $1,000 after every property. Now, so that was one of the reasons why I left school where it was. I wanted long-term holds. I wanted those people who wanted to be involved, who wanted to be charitable. They wanted a community, and they wanted to do something with the knowledge that they gained to pass that forward, to pay it forward. So in reward of doing so, after the second, this next train of Spark that's coming up, I am going to dedicate the maximum amount of Spark that can be built to each person, each UDU member that went into school. I'm building you your first property on one of the plots of lands that you have. And that's how I'm going to reward and build school out. So again, every single person that went into it, that's a UDU member, that stuck with me, that stuck with the UDU, stuck with school, that's how I'm going to reward everyone and thank everyone by building that out. As we go along and see how much time it takes, second and third properties will be contributing there as well in a lower number. But first off, we're just going to build. The other thing that I'd like to say about that is the reason that I'm not building out 3 at a time is that there probably will be new structures coming along. And Upland has said, these are the structures that are there now. And in future builds and new structures that the team offers, you may have to deconstruct something that you have now to rebuild on something. I don't know if they would offer a future upgrade or improvements on properties that you have, but the language hasn't signaled that. They have talked.
Can I just jump in there too? Sorry, Upland. Just to speak on that point as well. I've been thinking about that a lot lately in regards to Midtown Terrace. We know that we have our residential area down the bottom right that's kind of built out with all the old structures. I've got so much property up in the top left and the central area that's available. So I think we've already seen the residential area kind of start to creep up that left side. I think because there's been very little action happening as far as business goes. Like we know that, like the bombshell was dropped recently that they haven't even started development on outdoor decor shops. So I'm kind of envisioning holding off a lot of those properties that I had originally reserved for businesses. They'll probably now a lot of those will turn over to residential for core people that are in the UDU that we know are 100% solid. And, you know, those properties will be handed over at greatly reduced rates, and we're kind of lucky in respect that I have all those there banked for when new structures come online. You know, it might be that this year I release 20% of it, and then we hold off and see what's available next year. You know, there's always going to be advances. So I think that'll be kind of cool through the development of once the whole neighborhood's developed out, there'll be a kind of evolution of the building structure that Upland's put out there. So sorry to cut in there, mate. Back to
Not
you.
at all. That's a really good point. I'm going to swing into business. So that's school. The ultimate goal for school, the ultimate goal is for Upland to see the merits of what we're doing, and it not just being something that we're doing to get something back in terms of like a collection, a boosted area. We want to put forth effort to show them what UDU does, and it's charitable, and that it's civic minded, and we're putting this forward first, and for us to show them that we're putting in effort, and they would potentially acknowledge us or allow us to apply for a boosted area. That's really what I want to do. And in doing so, there's a reason why school I picked it, other than the name value, but there could be, as you've seen the Coit Tower and some of these other named historical monuments, something that would lean towards that would have a unique structure, let's put it that way, on there. And I'd lobby for that. And that would be personal to everyone that's in school that's part of the UDU. If you have any questions further on that, just let me know. And ultimately, outside of that, there have been a few other groups that have leveraged the name, that have been, they've used some of the taglines and the tag names. I'm no negative about that at all. I want everybody that wants to put education as a part of what we're doing with Upland and help new players to do so. Just know that groups come and go, channels start and end, and if sometimes there's not just a welcome on board. Sometimes there's an ask. So just be aware of those things. Have that conscious and in mind. Outside of that, if there's any questions about school or anything else, I'm going to open it up right now for a few minutes, and then we'll carry on with the meeting. So thank you all, and I'm glad to be back. And thanks for carrying the torch, and thanks for hanging in there with me. Is there any questions?
I just wanted to ask, so there's going to be a period where we're going to, like I said, there'll be a shuffling around period. Like I know when Oakland released, it was just a case of grab whatever you can. How do you want to play that out? Do you want a specific area to talk that through, or is it just going to be a case of everybody has a look at the map and then DMs, or what do you want to do?
Yeah, great question. Take a look at the map, and I've got one player that of all one UDU member and player that has all three in their area, and going forward, find out where you are. I've got a couple people that have them all over the place. Ben, there's some by you. So I know that there wants to be some switch around. I'm going to make a little bit more of a dynamic map. You can give me an idea. I'll send it out to every single player. If your name is different in game than it is in Discord, DM me, and we'll start to move everybody around.
That might be a good segue, Uplando, to Steve's Discord, the thing that he set up.
Great. Please,
have you had a look at that yourself?
I'm not. So
Okay.
Again, I'm catching up with everybody. I don't know everything that's been happening new. I just want to appreciate anything that you guys have new. Just inundate me and I'll look it over, but go right ahead.
All right, I'll share screen with that now. I'll pull this up here if we get us out of the road. So Steve's put this system together. It's all code-based, where he rips the blockchain data. Basically, we can, like for instance, Uplander, you can contact Steve and tell him, can I get a map produced of all of the ownership in school? You would give him a list of the in-game names that you want to be associated, and then basically he plugs it into his thing, and beep bop, and it spits out a nice, beautiful graphic. Not exactly sure where this is, but yeah, he can color code it specifically. Like, I'm not sure. are you aware of how many players hold property in school?
A lot.
Yeah.
Over 2/3 of the, I would say 90% of 95% is all UDU. So we just have a few that are dogtail or, coattailing it. But that said, there is a lot.
Okay. So it might be too many to do an individual key for individual players, but you might just have this, it'll show you the map of school, and you might just have, say, UDU ownership or something like that.
Absolutely.
So yeah, so this is a very cool thing that he's done up, and I know he is looking to commercialize it a little bit, but he's still running through kind of testing and all that sort of stuff. So I have put the link in our Zoom chat, and yeah, if you're not sure, just hit somebody up and we can point you in the right direction for Steve. Yeah, it's really cool what he's doing, and I think that would be, well, I know it has been useful when we were setting up the Longwood Drive mini node and things like that. It was really cool to see the output there. Probably, I think Bocchio and Slav might even be able to do something with the thing they're working on. Yeah, but just hit him up.
I'll do it. I'll put this into the process, and we'll get everybody that we need to get together and build up school and get a structure on one of your properties.
Cool. All right. Anybody else have a question for Uplander?
You said, Uplander, that the Spark will be available for a certain period of time. Can you give us perhaps a bit more insight into that? I'm just being curious.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I, again, want to make the most impact that I possibly can in thanks to everybody continuing with UDU and making it a go. So I'm going to work with More Cheese and designate a certain period of time, and then put that in concrete and not vary from it. It's just going to happen. And you can see it there. You can ask More Cheese at any time. I'm going to stake it, and we're going to make the train go full speed ahead, and Back to the Future 3 it, you know what I mean? We're going to burn it up.
And yeah, kind of speaking to what Upland is saying there too, I just want to thank and reiterate to everyone that one of the core strengths of a group like ours is that there's always people available to pick up the slack. Like, we know we've had key members drop off, and even myself, there's been weeks where I've just not been able to do anything, and there's always somebody there to pick it up. So that's where our real strength lies. A couple of things to touch on. Should I go to first? Oh, we had some questions recently about how to become UDU, and I've mentioned this several times. We have really taken a big step back as far as publicly broadcasting everything that we do, especially in the Open Upland channel. That has been a deliberate decision, because Angela's said that you got to sacrifice your child to get involved. It's not that drastic. Maybe a small goat or something. But yeah, we have taken a big step back because there was just the juice wasn't worth the squeeze. Basically, we were getting a lot of just nonsense coming our way, and we were having issues with not getting the right people on board. You will see if you go to the main Upland channel. I think it's community events, one of those channels where a lot of the other collaboratives just constantly spamming the invite to their channel. That's definitely not something we're looking to do. You'll never see the UDU links there. But it has been fun for me to just, whenever a new one pops up, I just click on it and go and have a look. And it's kind of, I guess it's a bit narcissistic, but the first thing I do when I go to a new channel is go into the search bar and type in UDU, and boy, do you learn some stuff doing that. That is a lot of fun. So yeah, it's really funny to kind of search that, or even there's been a couple of times where I've searched Ben 68. Again, I appreciate that's very narcissistic, but yeah, information is power, as they say. And yeah, it's been quite an eye-opener. You get people talking about these, as Uplando said, groups come and go. These people talking about, oh yeah, we're going to be the competitor, and this, that, and the other about the UDU. And I just put a comment there like, that's not what we're about at all, right? We're about helping each other If you're looking to be a direct competitor with us, you know, you've already won because we're not playing that game. You know, good luck to you. That's not what we're about. So that's been quite funny. But yeah, there was also a very good question brought up recently by Plasty in the UDU channel. He was basically asking about that whole neighborhood collection situation, how that's going to spawn out and how that's going to play out. And, you know, myself and a few other members kind of broke it down with the information that we have been given, that basically we just don't know. We don't know. We don't know how it's going to play out. We do know that the Upland roadmap is flexible, as is a lot of the things that they've published. They're not shy about moving away from things or completely ignoring things that have been said. You know, that's all part of being better in, you know, the better situation, I would suppose. One thing to keep in mind is a lot of the terminology and acronyms and things that we use within the UDU and within our little bubble, that's coming from us. That's not widely known and things like that. Like even things like describing neighborhoods as nodes. That's just something that I came up with. That's if you talk to somebody in the Upland team and say, you know, can you tell me about these nodes? They're likely gonna say, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. You know? So just, I guess it's kind of just something to be aware of here. We do throw around all these terms and acronyms within the group, but yeah, it might not be applicable as we go wider. What else? Angela has been very busy. Morcheese has been very busy, up at all hours, working away, and I believe you made a commitment last week that you would have these done and dusted by this team meeting, and I believe you have nailed it. So I'll bring up the share screen for that. Not that one, that's Steve's handiwork. You might want to close your eyes. You never know. I never know what I'm going to see when I open up one of Morcheese's DMs.
Oh no.
Oh, safe. I had it in the right spot. Okay.
This insomnia talk.
Do you want to speak to this for us?
So this is going to be our UDU official kind of NFT. It's going to be non-transferable. Originally, I was going to do just one background, but I sent Ben a whole bunch of backgrounds, not just this, and had him kind of pick a color scheme he liked, and he liked this one, so I ran with this a bit, and I like it. I think it's nice. It just kind of like grabs your attention while it goes around. But yeah, there were a lot of layers involved with getting the thing to turn. I'm happy with it. I know I was a bit of a perfectionist, but I think I'm pretty happy with this one. And then we have another one for the UDUA, which will be similar to this. You can't really see it on the black background. It's nicer like this way, you can see it like that, but it's basically the same thing, but without the background color on it. So if your UDUA that has been promoted to UDU, you will be getting both. So that's pretty nice. And the mint number is going to be directly correlated to your either your UDU, well, both your UDUA and your UDU number. So, yeah, your arrival to the UDU UDUA. Bob, do you know your numbers? Sorry, Monty. Well, I would get 18. What would you get, Bach?
It was 79. Yeah, 79.
All 79 right. For the UDU. What's your UDUA number?
Ooh.
Put you on the spot again.
Let me see if I keep clicking your Discord.
It wouldn't be 79 anyway. So yeah,
no.
Bocchio, for example, he will get his UDUA NFT, and that'll be his UDUA membership number, and he'll also get his UDU NFT. And yeah, we're not sure how we'll play with these in future, but yeah, it's just something we decided to put out.
Yeah, I'm really happy with it. It really looks cool, Angela.
Thank you.
It's really cool. Yeah.
And are you still playing around with the Spark Train idea as well?
We definitely have to have another NFT for the Round 2 Spark Train. Is that what you mean? Yeah. It was fun to create it, you know. I'll see what Oh gosh, it's coming up this weekend, isn't it? All right, yeah, I could throw something together, see what I could do.
We can have a chat about that later when we're talking about some other things.
Yeah.
Very good. I'll stop that one. What else do we have to? Oh, that's all I wanted to speak to. Did anybody else have anything to cover for UDU, UDUA stuff?
Back is number 14 for UDUA.
Number 14. Cool. There you go. good.
I just wanted to kind of say, thank you to Uplando. Say it's really nice to have you back. We all missed you, and it's good motivation to have someone as big as you come back and kind of like, do what you're doing. I think it's extremely generous, and I can't wait to work with you on the Spark Train.
I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. And to everyone, not just who's on this, just every UDU member sticking with this concept, this idea, this force that Ben has made. And I love the progression. Look, things get messy. And the tried and true either pick up those pieces and build something new out of it and carry on. And that's how really is the test of time and the test of the people and the group and the community that works with us and does this. And that's what again, this is to Ben's, what he just had spoke about. If you go into community property or projects contest tools, every minute there's a new post of groups, just bam, 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 bam. And what to take away from that is how the UDU has evolved. It is in my opinion, the original group, and it got the most mud flung at it. And it's still the one to knock off the top of the heap. I'm just going to say it, and I'm saying it out there and openly in public. And the thing that I also love about it is we're not saying, never have I started UDU say, okay, this is your brand, this is your tattoo or whatever. It's more like you can go off and do your own projects. This is something that's near and dear, close to what we want to do. It's congruent with our thoughts and the members of the group, and that's what we want. And not to be elitist or whatever, but we've got moderators in this group, multiple, and it's great to have that kind of leadership and those kind of people contributing all the time and watching people grow. Angela Morcheese, when she first started, being almost camera shy to literally doing what she's doing now is a testament to people not only progressing in the UDU, but just as social, as you start to grow in those skill sets. So I just love everything that's going on, and I'm glad to be back, and I'll try to be more active, but definitely going to put the pedal down on this next round on the Spark Train. Thank you, everyone, especially Ben. I could name everybody here that's here. And Jedi always has these prolific statements that he makes that are so motivational. And when you hear them, you're just like, why isn't, like, those need to be on, bumper stickers or something. But it's very motivational, and I appreciate everybody. Thank you so much for having me.
Yes. Yeah, we've been through a lot recently. And yeah, it's going to take quite a big rock to knock us down, because we're all held together now with some cheesy glue. So she's pretty strong, the old cheesy glue. So good luck. Yeah. All righty, just to wrap us up, we have Dubs here with the Green Rabbit Rundown. You there, Dub?
Yo, yeah, I'm still hanging in, buddy. We've had a few new things come along this week. At some point this week, we've got a marketplace launching on the Green Rabbit website. You'll be able to use your shell to buy not only in-game items, but also some in real life ones as well. But we obviously have no idea of what these things are. It's quite exciting. Partner staking's nearly ready to go. Still got Creek and Bitcoin Origins as confirmed partners, but we've recently picked up another new one of Venom's buddies, Kyle Loza. He's a FMX motocross guy, gold winner at X Games and everything. He's got his own collab coming out soon. He's an amazing artist. If none of you have heard about him, he's got a Discord now. It's starting to pop off there. He's got some amazing Green Rabbit themed art, and his collection's out in September, and it's going to be fully stakeable on Green Rabbit. So that's awesome. And then the last little bit, the T420 time machine and Venom has revealed that that's going to be something the whole community is going to have to work together to make. So we're not going to be doing it individually just for ourselves. It's going to be a big community effort, which again, really exciting and interesting. It's quite a cool concept he's bringing out there.
Nice. Yeah, that all sounds very interesting.
And that's all just 1 week.
That's crazy. Yeah.
There's always new stuff going on. It's mental.
That's interesting that they're moving over to fungible assets. I wonder if that's going to have any tie-in with Venom's in real life business or something like that. Speculation.
Maybe. I'm guessing that some things are going to be like cosmetic items for our characters. Obviously, there's endless possibilities. But yeah, it's cool that he's doing the real life stuff as well.
Maybe that gives you Anima or Armor some extra power if you get some extra green underpants to put on them over the top or something.
Yeah, I think we need lots of green underpants hats or something for sure.
Alrighty, just to wrap up, I want to thank everybody who got involved with stacking on to stake some spark on my Midtown Terrace apartment. Yeah, that was cool to see that get finished off, and I have started a sister build just across the road from it or down the street from it. And hopefully we'll get that built in round 4. So thanks everybody. Catch up with you.